contract placements are picking up. And one of the important facts to remember is that a recruiter can make a full placement fee on their contract placements by including a conversion fee to their agreement. Your contractor can be taken at any time and be offered a direct hire position, and then the recruiter would invoice the client for their full direct hire fee minus the profit they have made, not the invoice amount, but only the profit. How do you present this option to your clients? And this is why I asked Jon Davis, CEO of Signature Back Office Solutions, to join me and talk about conversion fees. Hi, my name is Judy Collins, and this is Just Ask Judy. So, hi, Jon, and thanks for talking with me about conversion fees. This is one of my favorite topics. There's always such an important part of working with contract placements that I know that there's several ways to calculate conversion fees. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your thoughts on conversion fees and how they're calculated?
Absolutely, Judy. Thanks so much. Great to be here. I've spent about 30 years in contract staffing, so I've seen many iterations on this. And what's interesting about contract to hire positions is they've really picked up over the last few years. In fact, some studies suggest about half of contract openings have the potential to move from contract to direct hire. And so understanding the nuances of this type of arrangement is certainly important. As it relates to conversion fees, typically they're calculated one of two ways. One is by the number of hours that the contractor has worked. In other words, on a declining schedule based on the hours worked, the full fee would be, for example, up to, let's say, 1,000 hours or a couple of months, 2 to 3 months once they've been on the assignment. And then a full fee after 90 days starts to decline a couple of percentage points, depending on how long they've been there. But generally speaking, 0 to 90 days would be a full fee recovered by the recruiter if the contractor is on assignment. And from day 91 through 180, there's some kind of declining fee schedule, again, based on either days that the contractor is working or actual hours that they've turned in. And it's critically important to talk about this up front when you're placing the consultant and just confirming with the client, is there even a possibility that this position would become try before you buy? And that tends to be a very popular way that people are onboarding new employees to their organization. So again, looking at hours worked or looking at days on assignment as measurement tools to determine how much the fee should be.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned how do you actually introduce this option to your clients? Because I know it's important to have it in writing and in your service agreement, really before anyone ever gets started. Can you talk to us about what you already need if you have a contract in place and you need to add this contract placements or contract to hire agreements?
Yeah, if you've already got an agreement in place, you could do an addendum or a memorandum of understanding that just butts up against that contract. And it basically just outlines the expectations of the length of time that the contractor is on contract. And then if a conversion to full-time occurs, again, like we talked about earlier, to come up with some type of declining schedule. And here at Signature, we have sample contracts we can provide for free to our customers and prospects so they can have at least a starting point to be able to provide to their customers as it relates to contract to hire fees.
Well, thank you, Jon, really, for talking about this important, really, information, because contract placements can be a substantial piece of your income. So if anybody has any questions or they would like to talk with you, how can they get in contact with you?
Oh, yeah. Just go to our website, signaturebackoffice.com. My email address is jdavis, the letter J, Davis, at signaturebackoffice.com. And we're here to help. Reach out. Phone number is 214-668-6465. Or shoot me an email, and happy to help in any way we can.
Well, thanks again, John. And really, thank you for listening to Just Ask Judy. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch other videos on business related issues. My email is Judy, Judy, at jcsrllc.com. Let me know what questions you have. And then if you ever have any questions about the EOR, Employer of Record piece of your business, please just let me know. That's what I love doing, and that's really what my expertise is in.
Mm.
So thank you again, and I will see you next time on Just Ask Judy.